Who I Watch, Alita Legal Bites, Natalie Lawyer Chick, Emily D. Baker, Lawyer Lee, and last but never least, Peter Tragos, Lawyer You Know. Follow them all. Who I Watch, Alita Legal Bites. Hey Sweet Peaches, how are you? Another video about Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively, et al. So this video I wanted to call Judging, I'm reading in my notebook, Judging Justin's Judgment, Blaming the Victim. How could he choose It Ends With Us? How could he choose Colleen Hoover? How could he choose Blake Lively? How could he choose Stephanie Jones and Jennifer Abel? How could he choose to allow himself to be pushed? And that's why I said blaming the victim, because I feel like he made one terrible choice after another. You know, on one hand, it makes a person, I could see how a person might say, hold on, where's my lip balm? How do we hold somebody accountable and then also not blame them for being a victim? My hands are dry. I have to go pick up my son. So I've got to leave here in about 15 minutes. And I am interrupting myself because I haven't done a video. Let me see, when's the last time I posted a video? So, actually, let's see. February. Oh, I just changed the calendar a few days late, so it's been like a week. I was doing videos like multiple times a week. You see how I posted almost every day for a while. Yeah, but I wasn't getting any sleep, and I feel like it slows my channel growth when I post too frequently. I don't know. So I decided that it's okay. It's perfectly okay for me to take breaks, to work with clients, to sleep, to do other things, and to share. Like, I'm not a breaking news channel, and I personally don't enjoy really short videos. Like, when somebody posts a video, if it's less than 10 minutes, sometimes I won't even bother to look at it because it's like, I have a long attention span for videos, so I prefer longer form ones. Anyway, so I returned that mic. It was a Blue Yeti by Logitech. I could not get it to stop crackling, even with the UBS hub thingy I bought. Whoops, which I'm glad I got it. I'm happy. And then I have whoop. Oh my fucking god, that went all the way over there. Anyway, let's get back to the video. So another thing that I had wanted to say, and I could do some screenshots of facts and show like actual numbers. I had actually done some research. I don't have it accessible to pull up right now. But so one of the things that Blake claimed in her amended complaint was that this was Wayfarer's biggest film, and yet they had the nerve, I'm paraphrasing, they had the nerve to complain that, so Blake was saying essentially like, how dare you complain about all the changes? How dare you complain that I swooped in and took over when you guys made the most money you've ever made? But this was also the most money that Blake Lively has ever made in a movie. And she has lost multiple millions of dollars on at least 2 movies that she starred in. All right, I'm going to read over my phone on my computer. It Ends With Us 2024. It was a budget of $25 million. The box office gross was approximately $351 million worldwide. Blake Lively earned $3 million. Salary Justin Baldoni was $320,000 motherfucking dollars. It ends with Us emerged as Blake Lively's highest grossing film, earning nearly 14 times its production budget. However, the film's success was overshadowed by all the motherfucking shit she did, okay? Savages 2012, the budget was $45 million. It grossed $82 million worldwide, and it says the salaries are not disclosed. I don't know. Okay, hold on. All right, A Simple Favor 2018, it was a $20 million budget, a $97.6 million box office gross, estimated profit $77.6 million. Blake Lively's salary was reportedly $800,000. Anna Kendrick's not publicly disclosed. Let's see, apparently she made $1 million for A Simple Favor. Let's see, Sisterhood of Traveling Pants. Her salary wasn't disclosed. They made about $15 million profit, grossed $38 million on a budget of $23 million. It said that Gossip Girl, she made $60,000 per episode. She earned approximately $7.2 million from her role as Serena Vander Woodson. It said accepted in 2006. It was a budget of $23 million. I think I already said this. It was a modest profit, and The Town was a significant box office success, earning over 4 times its production budget. So it was in 2010. It was a budget of $37 million, which is a lot. Public gross, box office gross was $154 million worldwide, with an estimated profit of $117 million. Her salary was not disclosed. Green Lantern only got about $20 million profit out of $200 fucking million budget, and they got $219 million gross. That is crazy. Their salaries weren't disclosed. Really gotta go. The rhythm section in 2020 was between a 30 million and 40 million fucking loss. The rhythm section is considered one of the worst box office flops ever, with substantial financial losses. And also in 2017, All I See Is You was a significant box office failure, and they lost also approximately $29.3 million, almost $30 million loss. Unbelievable. So let's see, that's $60 million, $60 to $70 million loss alone in those two freaking flops, and those were like 2 of her last projects before this one. I think it's safe to say her career is donesies. I gotta go. For reals, yo. Alright. Now I have got to go get my child, and we'll have to continue this, so yeah, she made some money and she lost a lot of money. I didn't add it up if she lost more than she made, but I guess not. But just like the fucking audacity that she would say, because she took over the movie, it made the most. And back home, so she had the audacity to claim that it was because of her stealing the movie and doing all the things that she did to change the movie, that was why they made so much money, when in fact, if she hadn't done all that, if she hadn't spent over budget, they were over budget. They went $615,000 for clothing that was just for her and some for Justin, and that didn't include any of the other cast members, and they were already over budget by more than like $115,000, if not more. Like, I think it was way, hundreds of thousands of dollars more. And then she had the audacity to turn around and say that shit came out of her closet. Like, bitch, no, it didn't. Just because you had Justin pay for it, and then you had Justin pay for people to bring it to your house, and then you put it in your closet, you said it came out of your closet. You fucking nut job. So the comparison is that the estimated profits on the movies she's been in was 599 million, almost 600 million in profits, with total estimated loss at 144.3 million, almost 145 million losses. Final verdict, yes. Net positive balance of 454.9 million, despite the major flops, almost $145 million losses. But again, that's not all due just to her by any means. But what else did I want to say about this ho-ho? Right. I'm back at my desk. Now I'm using my iPhone as my mic, because I returned the other one. I've got my little light here. I'm going to turn this on, put that over there. I think I'll just keep it on wide. I'm going to light an incense. So where was I? I was saying blaming the victim. Because I sincerely and genuinely believe that Justin Baldoni is a victim of multiple people trying to take advantage of him, thinking he was weak or an easy target, and thinking that they could take advantage of him, take credit for his hard work, steal his money, basically. Because when you take credit for somebody else's work and you claim it's your own, which is taking credit, and then you charge a bunch of money, for example, was it Zach Peters who mentioned that I've stopped following most people who have covered it, are covering this because of various reasons. I guess if you want to know like the tea, why I stopped following Daily Dose of Dana, I stopped following Dave Neal, and I certainly would never follow Candace Owens. I'll talk about it at the end of the video for the people who stick around and want to hear that, okay? So where was I? Blaming the victim. Who I watch, especially for this case, Legal Bites, Alita. She's amazing. She also covers Karen Reed. She was covering the Menendez trial, the first one. She covers a lot of stuff, but she is covering Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni. She's a very fair lawyer. I also watched Natalie Lawyer Chick, who I love. She is also very unbiased. She's a defense attorney. I love her perspective. She's following the Baldoni case as well. And another favorite is Emily D. Baker. Can you hear the birds and the cars outside? Emily follows a lot of cases. Karen Reed, Brian Koberger, Donna Adelson. She covered Charlie Adelson. If Wendy ever gets arrested, she'll cover her. Corey Richins and Justin Baldoni. Blake Lively. She also covers P. Diddy. Go follow her as well. And I also follow Lawyer Lee. She's amazing. She used to be called Harvard Lawyer Lee, but Harvard asked her to change it. But she went to Harvard. She's an amazing lawyer. She covers multiple things as well as Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni. And my favorite, I think Natalie Lawyer Chick. Well, these are all my favorites. Lawyer, Peter Tragos. He also covered A$AP Rocky. He covers Karen Reed. He is covering Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. He covers many things as well. He's from Florida. So follow these guys. These are where and who you should watch for this case. Who I watch: Alita Legal Bites, Natalie Lawyer Chick, Emily D. Baker, Lawyer Lee, and last but never least, Peter Tragos, Lawyer You Know. Follow them all. Who I watch: Alita. I just wanted to jump in to add that why I especially love all of those lawyers: Natalie Lawyer Chick, Peter Tragos, Lawyer You Know, Alita Legal Bites, Emily D. Baker, Lawyer Lee. The reason I like to follow them is because what a lot of other people do, and I do it too, I'm not somebody who doesn't, but a lot of people will read articles. What I don't do is read anything and everything. What I don't do is try to be breaking news where I'm running to the video to try to like break the greatest and the latest. What I don't do is just read salacious headlines and report on anything, whether it's true or verified or not. And I don't just put out video after video after video just so that I constantly have something new uploaded. I like to be thoughtful in my videos, and I also like to be thoughtful in the way that I contemplate a situation or a case. And I do like to look at things from both angles. I personally believe that Blake Lively is a blatant liar, and that all of this was some kind of extorting smear campaign because she didn't get what she wanted enough. Like, bitch, you got what you wanted, but it wasn't enough. So the reason why I like following those particular lawyers that I specifically named is because they look at cases from a legal perspective. If it's not loaded up onto the court docket, they're not reading it. They wait for court documents to drop. They wait for the judge to order a motion. They wait for the lawyers to actually submit. They do listen to press interviews and stuff like that, but what I like about them is they are looking at things from a legal standpoint and what will hold up in court or not, or what they think about it from that perspective, rather than emotional pleas about how beautiful, how uniquely beautiful this person who's had 80 plastic surgeries, or how, you're putting your politics into it, or just being salacious. Or even with Perez Hilton, I never really cared for him, but I was listening to some of his things, but it's like, some people, they just report to report and they want it to be salacious and they don't care really how true it is or not. And they'll say whatever they're going to say and they'll bounce around like ping pong balls and, all for views. And I'm not saying that that's what any of those particular people are doing specifically, or that I could know that. I'm just saying I really like to follow people who look at the situation fairly and accurately instead of being so obvious in their bias. Now, again, when I'm biased, I say I'm biased. I'm biased in this case. I am biased against Blake Lively. I already didn't like her. I already thought she was a ratchet hoe. I already liked Justin Baldoni. I already thought he was a great actor. I already thought he was a good man and a good person. So with that's why when I first saw the headline that Blake Lively accused him of SH, my first instinct was, I know you fucking lying, because there ain't no way. I don't believe it. I'm not going to automatically believe something. Well, I did. I automatically believed, I should say. I'm not going to automatically believe something just because somebody says it. The person who said it to me was a liar and not trustworthy. So I automatically thought, You're lying because you got two people in the situation. One is a well-established good person. One is a well-established bad person. So the well-established bad person is putting down the well-established good person. Well, my instinct was to say, nah, bitch, you're lying. You are lying, ho. And she is. She continues to. I find it interesting that one unique feature or characteristic in this case that I find that is very reminiscent to the Amber Heard Johnny Depp is how, no matter how obvious it is that that bitch is lying, she keeps going. Like Sarah Boone. Sarah Boone. Suitcase Sarah. We saw the video. We saw the video of you murdering George Torres. We saw it. We heard you. She was like, nah, bitch, that's not enough. I need you to see every awful, abusive video I ever took of him. Which we did. Thank you very much. Probably not every, but we saw hell of a lot. And after all that, still trying to be like, you're smearing me. Girl, you're a psycho. And Blake and Ryan may be co-psychos. I don't know. But anyway, follow those guys. Follow those lawyers. They are fair and intelligent and look at things truthfully. And they all knew Amber Heard was a fucking liar. How could Justin choose? Why would Justin choose that book? I saw a video of, let me find her name. I found it. It's Casey. I'm going to change my background, by the way. I'm not going to really promote her for one reason specifically, which is I'm not going to promote her for one reason specifically. So one reason alone why I would not promote her is because she said Kamala's name, Kamala, and that makes me immediately think you're ignorant or you listen too much to Fox or to Trump. So I didn't like that. However, I did like her reviews of Exploring the Insane World of Colleen Hoover, Part 1 and Part 2. And she went over her perspective of the books, which is what leads me to say, from based on the things that she was reading, and she had like screenshots of parts of the books that she was reading, you know, and she filled in her thoughts as well, but I just couldn't. I cannot understand how Justin would read that book and come away thinking this is a really moving book. This is a book that we should turn into a movie. This is a powerful book about DV survivorship. A part of me wonders if he read the book quickly and then the influence from what was it, Book Talk, and seeing that it had millions of fans. So it says in 2019 she sold over 1 million. In 2022 it was #1 on the New York Times bestseller list because of Book Talk. She had 2 million subscribers or whatever. So, you know, maybe Justin read the book and it gave him the idea of a movie, which is an adaptation. It's not a verbatim, you know, copy paste. You cannot translate a book exactly to a movie. I mean, you probably can if you like the Pride and Prejudice. They did a series, they did a short series where they were able to really get a lot of it in, a lot more and than you can get in a movie. So, like Jane the Virgin, it was like literally like 100 episodes. You can get a heck of a lot more in. But anyway, maybe like I can't read his mind. I can't understand why he would pick that book, which seems bad, but like hindsight is a bitch, right? Hindsight is a real fucking bitch. It's a bitch, it's a cunt, it's a twat, it's a, oh my fucking god. It's a wowza. Because it's easy to say today, right now, how the fuck could Justin Baldoni pick It Ends With Us? How the fuck could he pick Colleen Hoover, who betrayed him and sold out what she claimed? Now, she claims that this book is about DB and her mom, but based on things I've read, things I've heard now, comments I've seen, comments like Colleen Hoover is an amazing horror writer, but she doesn't know it. It's horror because the things that she glosses over and normalizes, the things that, like the way that she perceives the world is so misogynistic. It's so sadomasochistic. It's so horrible. It's such a horror, the things that she has the women doing and thinking and feeling and wanting and believing, and the way the men behave, and everything about it is just so totally weird. So I'm not really sure. Like, what I can say is that I do believe that Justin is not liable. I believe that he's innocent. I believe that Justin is a victim. I believe that he meant well. He had a strong vision, which we probably will never see unless he has it locked up somewhere, just like fucking Blake Lively. Blake Lively, I can't get it now. I can't say it now. Just like Blake Lively had stolen her cut of the movie that she wasn't even supposed to really have, and she fucking extorted Justin to let her make, and then I don't know. I feel like Sony is really problematic in this whole thing, how they just rolled over for her again and again because of her threats, but they didn't do any of their own investigation. At least none they made public so far. By the way, I'm going to read something, but I just wanted to get these thoughts out because Lauren, what is it? The random something Lauren, and she reads a lot of stuff, and she was reading, I think it was a Stephanie Jones against Jennifer Abel, and Jennifer Abel sounds like a horrible person who was backstabbing Justin as well, saying terrible things about him, and Stephanie Jones was trying to smear Justin, and so then he hires Blake Lively. Like, Blake Lively had a problematic history, but for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't know how much Colleen says that she didn't really even believe it until it happened, but she also says that Blake Lively is her dream Lily, y'all. And the reason she couldn't allow herself to believe it until Blake showed up on set is because she is such a fan that she could not believe this was happening. She didn't care that Lily was a 23-year-old in the book that she wrote. She didn't care that everything about the book changes when you age up a character by 15 years, because the way the way that Lily's character behaves, this is my incense, by the way. The way that the character behaves makes much more sense when you look at it from the perspective of a young, brand new adult, a 23-year-old new adult, just going out on her own, and, really young, and, still traumatized, and hasn't healed her childhood wounds from her DV abusive father, although they didn't really explore that much in the movie, and making these choices Not that older people don't make choices. Bad choices getting stuck in DV situations. But it makes less sense in the context of this woman has had 15 more years to heal. And then there's the whole aspect of the reason she had some money to start her dream floral shop. Oh, I cut myself off. The reason that Lily had money, Lily Blossom Bloom, the stupidest name in the universe, unless you're a My Little Pony, which they did have that, you'll see in a sec. The reason she had any money at all was because her dad had died. Her dad had left her some money. Her dad, who she had such a bad relationship with that she couldn't even say 5 things about him she liked. And he left her some money, so she was going to be able to open up her dream Lily Bloom's flower shop. But at the same time, as a brand new business owner, using money she inherited, it makes zero sense that she would also buy $5,000 shoes and insanely ridiculous clothes. I just had to add that because not only was the wardrobe hideous, ugly, completely out of character for that character, it didn't match, it didn't make sense. It just, like, and I've already said this before, the way the flower shop was decorated, was so far from anything I've ever seen that looks anywhere remotely close to a real flower shop. And I get it, it's a movie, it can be embellished, but it was just so, it was egregiously over the top. The money that was spent trying to make her look rich did not match any part of the movie, in my opinion. And it seems like many other people agree with that opinion. But it's just like, how does the character that she was supposed to play look that way? And it's sad that, again, Justin made the poor judgment to let her have her way. I realized that at that point, he was being harassed. And I get it. Like, I went through sexual harassment. I believe he was being sexually harassed as well as retaliatory harassment.
GetLoveDreamingPeach.com.
And code hot pink, I guess. What I do want to say about the brief SH and retaliatory harassment that I experienced. And I had been working for her for about 5 months, and it was like the last month of it really went off the rails. And what I can say is that every second of every day, my stomach was in knots. I was stressed the fuck out. I was having like heart palpitations. It was the closest I've ever come to having like an actual anxiety attack. She was, she would text message me. She would email me on. So I had the original email that I started when I first started working with her. Then I had another email that I moved over to. And then she created an email account for me. And then she changed the email account for some reason and created another one. But she still was emailing me on the first one as well as the other ones that I had started with. Then I feel like I don't think she started, I think there was 2 email accounts, and then she had a Slack account. It was Google Drive stuff she was sending me. She was Facebook account sending me stuff. Then we were doing, oh my God, what was the other thing? Monday.com we were using. And she would send me messages to all of the messaging apps, and also text me on my phone, and it was just constant. And every time there was a ping or a ding or a notification, I would get like a shock of stress. So the only reason why I'm mentioning that is because I want to say that for all of Justin's terrible judgments, I'm judging Justin's judgment. I do want to say and add in there that considering what he went through and how much he had put into it, I'm taking what I went through and then imagining it at the scale of what he went through, which was like 1,000,000 times worse for 1,000,000 times longer with 1,000,000% higher stakes. And I am not shocked that he made so many bad decisions from a place of duress and stress and despair and disbelief. And it probably took him a long time to finally realize what the fuck was happening. Poor Justin. I hope he gets every penny that he deserves, which is $400 million and then some. Because she didn't get what she wanted. She wasn't getting what she wanted as much as she wanted in the way that she wanted. And that made her enraged. And my kid is getting out of the show. I just wish that he had the judgment to push back harder then. And maybe I say this somewhere in here, but I may have lost that point as well, which is to say, a lot of people are saying he should settle, he will settle, they will settle, it will settle. Blake should settle, like as if it's up to her. And I don't know if he'll end up feeling like going through it would be worse than settling. But the way they're doubling, tripling, quadrupling, they are literally throwing every fucking piece of shit they can, everything they could dig up, everything they could make up, anything they can patch together. Blake and Ryan and her lawyers and those heinous, hideous, evil PR people. So I kind of feel like he doesn't really have a choice, because it's kind of giving like, the whole, not to get political, but the whole, Putin invaded Ukraine, and then now they're trying to say like, well, you're the one who's violent because you won't give us everything we want. We invaded you. We stole your shit. We attacked you. We made up lies about you. But now, since you won't give us everything that we want and then some, you're the problem. You're the violent one. You're the cause of this terrible stuff happening. If only you would give us our way, which is why things are like this in the first place, because we took and took and took and took and took and took. If only you would give us our way, more of what we want. If only you would give us everything. If only you would let us fucking kill you and take everything and the credit and call you a terrible person, then this would all just go away. That's what it's giving. So what I'm hoping is that, within reason of Justin's own mental well-being, his mental health, his wife, his kids, his family, his financial, but I feel like you're going to, again, like with Ukraine, you can't keep attacking and then accusing the other person of being the problem and refusing to let it end. You refuse to stop attacking me, and then you're trying to turn around and twist it and blame it and say that I refuse to let things end? My God. So just totally changing who the character even was. Oh, and let me show you this. Like, Did she change the wardrobe to all that fancy stuff so that she could steal it? Like, was that part of the plan? Like, I don't want to wear these ugly things that I don't want to steal. I want to make him pay. Oh, that was another thing I said. Or I stopped saying. She made Justin pay, Wayfarer pay for the fucking premiere that she didn't even let him be at. He paid for that. He was paying for his own premiere that she sent him to the basement. Vegan marshmallows. How scum can you fucking be? Look at this bullshit. Lily Blossom, a fucking My Little Pony. You can read about her here if you want to. Colleen Hoover should have got sued for plagiarism because she made the female character in her book the same name as a fucking My Little Pony character, Lily Blossom.
Looks like Blake stole her wig.
It sounds so ridiculous that only a 5-year-old would think it was funny and cute. But no, Colleen Hoover had to turn one of the cringest characters of all time. Yet again, I am judging Justin's judgment, but I don't want to victim blame, especially, like I said, hindsight is a bitch, and so are all the fucking women that happen to be working for him. And it's really sad. It's sad what he's going through. I hope that he does continue to fight. I hope that billionaire guy really is behind him and that he has no shortage of money, because it's time for the good guy to win and for the bad guys to lose and pay their dues and go crawl back under some kind of rock that they need to go under. Lily Blossom is actually a My Little Pony. Like an actual My Little Pony. Why didn't they sue her? Like, yo, bitch. You cannot use Lily Blossom. That is ours. But whatever. And it's like, how corny are you? Did you write this when you were 13 years old? Like, it's so... Everything about it is so cringe, which is like, why did Justin like this? Did he think, oh, that's a pretty good... He said he cried and he was moved by it and he couldn't stop thinking about it. And I'm wondering, was it truly that he couldn't stop thinking about it? And I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. I know I said blaming the victim, because I'm fully aware that all of these complaints that I have are basically blaming the victim. Like, how was he meant to know that? Like, I feel like maybe the book itself he thought of as like the basis of a really good movie. You know, he wasn't doing it exactly. And maybe he saw something in there that, I don't know, just wasn't there. And but he, you know, encouraged by the fact that millions of people enjoyed the book, loved the book, and he was like, okay, there's a fan base for this. There's a place in the world of film where people want to see a, like, It Ends With Us was meant to be an empowering character of a woman who goes through something terrible, but she learns and she grows and then she makes a better choice. But I don't know. I still feel like, I don't know, Justin. You picked a terrible book with a terrible author, a very problematic person. The fact that she immediately was like, you should be Ryle, that was problematic to me. And I believe that screams at the racist overtones.
Especially, she later claimed he came to her for the part.
And like, there was no diversity in the cast. And I think that, like, Blake has a serious history of also seriously being racist. She got married on a plantation. Even Ryan, I now learn, has said a bunch of racist shit, which totally tracks and makes a bunch of sense. Because of course, how could a man get married on a plantation that has a road called Slave Road, where enslaved people were living in horror, and they fucking got married there? And then I heard
I don't know if it was Zach Peter again or Peters, where he said he looked it up and read it, and it literally says like, this is not, I think it's called Boone Plantation, and it says, this is not a wedding venue. This is a historical landmark that where it's like a museum, I guess, of the fucking horrors. Yeah, let's have our wedding there. Okay, so he didn't do his due diligence, and that I think is problematic. I think it's very problematic that he didn't do his due diligence, that he picked a shitty book with a shitty author, he picked a shitty first lady star, okay? Then he picked a shitty PR team. Like, how do you pick Jennifer A. Bell? But that's the thing. When somebody betrays you and they lie in your face and they say one thing but do another, how are you meant to know? How are you meant to know that that's what they were going to do when you don't know that that's what they do? And, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, he could have sussed out that that was a shitty book. He could have sussed out that maybe Colleen Hoover had some, he could have sussed out that Colleen Hoover tried to get a coloring book. She literally had a coloring book for her DV book, and I think it flopped because everybody was like, what the fuck, lady? How much are you going to monetize? Like, this is insane. Maybe it came after, I don't know. And then I feel like he had poor judgment when Blake, I mean, yes, he had good judgment in the fact that he screenshotted it when Blake said, like, oh, I'm good. I don't need to see the intimacy coordinator. And he did send it to the other producer or whatever. But it's like, why did you stop there? Why would you not go to SAG or to the Writers Guild or to whoever, like whoever you're supposed to go to? Go to Sony, push back on Blake. Say, I'm so glad, I've said this already, I'm so glad that you feel so comfortable, but this is for everyone's safety. This is a requirement to move forward, and I cannot move forward without you actively doing the things that are required to protect this movie, to protect me as an actor, as a director, to protect you as an actor and as a producer and as a human being. Okay, so that was poor judgment. And I feel that there was poor judgment when it came to the fact that when she showed him again and again and again that she shouldn't be trusted, she was not to be trusted. He kept on bending over backwards into a pretzel for her. So those are all my blaming the victims. Like, again, but like I'm saying, like, how could he have known? He maybe he could have had better judgment and not picked that book. And if he hadn't picked that book, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Maybe he should have read that book and then, picked a screenwriter to write something that he was inspired by. But again, hindsight is a bitch. All right, this is a letter to the judge from Justin's lawyers, Brian Freedman.
catlovedreamingpeach.com.
Fucking crook. I don't know.
catlovedreamingpeach.com.
Well, as I said, I'm not a breaking news channel, and I read this when it came out, like literally right after it came out. I read this and I recorded it, but I was already working on another video. And I should move over here. I was already working on the other video, and I thought I would combine them, and then it was just way too long, so I split them apart. And then wouldn't you know it, before I even finish editing this video, the order came out. So basically, Judge Liman granted the order to stay discovery in favor of the New York Times. I was listening to it, and then I thought, you know what, let me just jump on and just say that the letter is already kind of pointless. But he did say that he thinks that the Wayfarer parties will have to submit an amended complaint talking more in depth about the discovery that they want from the New York Times. So maybe I will just let the AI voice that I listen to on naturalreaders.com play it. So at least you can hear it. I'll put it at the end of the video after I read the letter that was basically denied. Watch
Follow them
Alita,
all.
who I watch. Alita, Legal Bites. Natalie, Lawyer Chick. Emily D. Baker, Lawyer Lee. And last but never least, Peter Tragos, Lawyer You Know. Follow them all, who I watch.
All right, this is a letter to the judge from Justin's lawyers, Brian Freedman.
catlovedreamingpeach.com.
Fucking crook.
Anyway, I have been following Court Listener. I'll pop this up. I've been getting updates, email updates when something is. Oh, I'm just going to turn this light on so make it look nicer. Oh well. It took a while for me to realize that. So there's a new docket entry, okay, for their case. And I'm going to read it, but I'm not going to read it from there because I actually downloaded it. All right, this is a letter to the judge from Justin's lawyers, Brian Freedman, Mitchell Schuster, and Kevin Fritz. So I don't even know what this says, but I thought I might as well take a look at it, see what it says before I finish my video. Maybe there's something interesting here that I can add to the video. So let me get it sized better. Okay, so this is case 124 CV 149-LJL, document 117, filed today. Up here you can see the date. It's Monday, March 3rd. This is Eastern Standard Time, so it's 7:49 p.m. right now. This was filed today. This is 4 pages. It's from Mitchell Schuster at Meister, Seelig and Fine PLLC, which is a law office, via electronic something filing, I'm guessing. Electronic court filing? Honorable Judge Liman, or J. Liman, United States District Court, Southern District of New York, 500 Pearl Street, room 1620, New York, New York, 10007. Lively versus Wayfarer Studios LLC et al. Number 124 CV. I already read that. And the related Wayfarer Studios LLC et al. V. Lively et al. 125. Dear Judge Liman, can you see it? Maybe I can zoom in a little bit more. Let's see if I close that. Hide the sidebar. Sidebar. Scooch it over just a little more. Oh, Dear Judge Liman, as counsel for Wayfarer Studios LLC, Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Steve Sarowitz, It Ends With Us Movie LLC, Melissa Nathan, the agency group PR LLC, and this bitch needs to be dropped. Jennifer Abel, who said really nasty things about Justin. Collectively, the Wayfarer parties, we object to the New York Times Company's, The Times, request for an order pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 26C, staying discovery as to The Times, pending a determination of its motion to dismiss the Wayfarer parties, amended complaint, docket 109. Pursuant to Rule 26C, the court has discretion to issue a protective order on matters relating to discovery upon showing of, quote, good cause. See Federal R Civil P 26C1 Hung Leon Finn Ltd versus Pinnacle Performance Ltd FRD 6972 SDNY 2013, quote, the burden of showing good cause for the issuance of a protective order falls on the party seeking the order, end quote. Republic of Turkey v. Christie's, Inc., 2016 F Sup 3D 675, some more numbers and stuff from 2018. Quote, to establish good cause under Rule 26C, courts require a particular and specific demonstration of fact as distinguished from stereotyped and conclusory statements, i.d. internal quotations omitted. Quote, discovery should not be routine. Quote, discovery should not be routinely stayed simply on the basis that a motion to dismiss has been filed. Moran v. Flaherty, number 92, CV 3200, 1992, WL, stuff, 1992. See also Usab L. Lazar, numbers from 2013, more numbers, June 25th, 2013, rejecting contention that, quote, discovery must automatically be stayed pending a motion to dismiss, end quote. Quote, a court determining whether to grant a stay of discovery pending a motion must look to the particular circumstances and posture of each use, end quote. Republic of Turkey 316, numbers, quote, court should consider multiple factors, including the breadth of discovery sought, the burden of responding to it, the prejudice that would result to the party opposing the stay, and the strength of the pending motion forming the basis of the request for the stay. ID, quoting Country Club of Fairfield Inc. versus NH Insurance, the case number 2014. What is granting a stay in a legal case? Granting a stay in a legal case means that a court has issued an order to temporarily halt or suspend further proceedings in a case, essentially putting the legal process on hold until further notice. This is often done while an appeal is pending to allow the appellate court to review the case without the lower court's decision being enforced immediately. Key points about a stay. Purpose. A stay is used to prevent immediate action on a court decision, allowing time for further legal steps like appeals or addressing specific issues before the case fully proceeds. When it might be granted, a judge may grant a stay if a party demonstrates potential for significant harm, if the decision is enforced immediately, or if there are unresolved legal issues that need to be addressed before moving forward. Okay, so let's continue. So I have alerts set, so when new documents drop, I get them. A court determining whether to grant a stay of discovery. I was over here. Okay, and the strength of the pending motion forming the basis of the request for stay. This is from August 8th, 2014. None of these factors weigh in favor of staying discovery as to the times. First, the Times has not demonstrated that the discovery sought from it will be voluminous or burdensome. The Times allegation that, quote, discovery in this case is likely to be far-reaching, expensive, and wrought with complications, end quote, is based upon pure speculation. Docket 109, page 3. Indeed, no discovery demands have even been served upon the Times by any party to this action. Furthermore, to the extent that the Times is concerned about requests for, quote, call logs and other extensive discovery, we note that such overly intrusive, quote, overly intrusive discovery was sought by the lively parties, not the wayfarer parties, motherfucker. Yet again, the double standards never stop. And this court, in granting the Wayfarer party's recent motion to quash certain subpoenas, advised the lively parties on how to appropriately narrow their discovery requests, docket 102. In any event, given that Miss Lively alleges that the purported negative media campaign did not begin until approximately August 24, 2024, docket 84, 23, 26, 27, 28, coupled with the fact that the Times' article concerning the alleged, quote, smear campaign was published in December 2024, docket 50, paragraph 261, the relevant period for any discovery sought from the Times is extremely narrow, thereby undermining any claim of burdensomeness. The Times' argument that it should not be compelled to litigate, quote, complicated issues relating to discovery is unavailing.
Unavailing.
Achieving little or nothing, ineffective. The Times' argument that it should not be compelled to litigate, quote, complicated issues, end quote, relating to discovery is unavailing. Docket 109, page 3. If that was the standard, then virtually no discovery would proceed in any case with a pending motion to dismiss. See Brower v. Egan Jones Ratings Co. blah, 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 blah. Denying stay of discovery pending motion to dismiss because, quote, some burden exists in all discovery, end quote. Moreover, even if the Wayfarer parties' claims against the Times are dismissed, which is unlikely, the Times will remain a critical precipient witness as it relates to the other claims herein and will, accordingly, remain subject to similar discovery obligations as a non-party. CID. Identifying stay of discovery because, quote, it is inevitable that some discovery may be obtained from defendant regardless of the outcome of her motion, end quote, to dismiss. Bennett v. Cuomo, and there's the number from February 15th, 2023. Denying stay of discovery because burdens thereof, quote, are unlikely to change substantially regardless of how the motions to dismiss are decided, end quote, given that movants, quote, will remain key witnesses even if the claims against them are dismissed, end quote. In sum, the Times' conclusory allegations are insufficient to establish that it will be unduly burdened by discovery. My arms, I need to stretch. So that's why I move my arms around, by the way. See Mira v. Jordan. There's the case number 2026, March 1st of 2026. Denying stay of discovery pending motion to dismiss, where defendant, quote, did not explain why, end quote, plaintiff's discovery demands are, quote, voluminous and burdensome, end quote, and did, quote, not identify any burden associated with the production, end quote. Denying stay of discovery pending motion to dismiss where defendant did not explain why plaintiff's discovery demands are voluminous and burdensome and did not identify any burden associated with the production. Second, the Times has failed to establish that the wayfarer parties will not be unfairly prejudiced by their request for a stay. While the Times contends that the requested stay is, quote, for a, quote, short period of time, end quote, docket 109, page 3, the Times cannot predict when the court will decide the motion to dismiss. Most likely, a stay of discovery as to the Times will significantly disrupt the deadlines set forth in the case management plan and scheduling order, docket 58. As it stands, fact discovery is scheduled to be completed by August 15th, 2025, less than 6 months from the date of this letter. Even assuming the wayfarer parties are not unfairly prejudiced by a stay, meaning you can't have the stuff you need, that alone is insufficient to stay discovery given the other factors weighing against a stay. See Brower case. Third, the Times has not made a, quote, strong showing, end quote, that the wayfarer parties' claims are unmeritorious. As part of the merits analysis, quote, courts have also considered whether a pending motion to dismiss will dispose of the whole action. Bennett 2023, numbers CT Espresso LLC v. Lavazza Premium Coffees Corp., numbers May 24th, 2024, page 3 of 4. Quote, on the first factor of the merits of plaintiff's claims, courts tend to consider whether the resolution of the pending motion to dismiss may dispose of the entire action, end quote, internal quotation omitted. Here, other than the Times, there are dozens of parties who will remain parties, and the wayfarer parties do not presently intend to move to dismiss Miss Lively's claims. I'll say that again. Here, other than the Times, there are dozens of parties who will remain parties, and the wayfarer parties do not presently intend to move to dismiss Miss Lively's claims. Therefore, the Times' motion to dismiss will not dispose of the whole action. Additionally, when, quote, when an assessment of the merits of a plaintiff's claims involve a fact-intensive analysis, such as choice of law assessment, courts have declined to conclude that a plaintiff's claims are unmeritorious. Bennett 2023 and some numbers. Miss Lively's amended complaint contends that California law applies to her claims against the wayfarer parties, docket 84, paragraph 68, 375 to 417. The wayfarer parties' claims, including against the Times, are asserted under California law, docket 50, page 211, number 27. In its motion to dismiss, the Times contends that New York law applies to the claims against it and concedes that, quote, the laws of California and New York conflict, end quote. For some of the claims, docket 106, page 6, given the choice of law analysis the court must undertake to decide the dismissal motion, the court should decline to stay discovery for this reason alone. C. Morales v. Next Stop 2006 Inc. There's the case number, October 27th, 2022. Denying stay of discovery because court could not, quote, conclude that defendants have substantial arguments for dismissal given defendants' motion to dismiss invoke choice of law principles, Mira v. Jordan, 2026 at 2. denying stay of discovery where parties disputed which state law governed defamation claim. Even if New York law were determined to apply to the defamation claim, the court cannot determine as a matter of law that the state's fair report privilege applies because, quote, it is for the jury to decide if the context in which the statements are made makes it impossible for the ordinary viewer or reader to determine whether the publication was reporting on a if the context in which the statements are made makes it impossible for the ordinary reader or viewer to determine whether the publication was reporting on a judicial proceeding, end quote. Shaindlin v. Brady, there's the case from 2022, Lyman J. Did they throw in his own case? Quoting Kinsey v. New York Times. Oh my God, did they literally quote a Judge Liman case against the New York Times? Second Circuit 2021. Although the Times argues that its article merely, quote, reports Blake Lively's California Civil Rights Department complaint against Justin Baldoni and others, and thus purportedly, quote, is absolutely protected under New York's fair report privilege, docket 109, page 2. The Times' dismissal motion acknowledges that the article went beyond reporting. Quote, here, the article lays out in great detail the factual basis for its conclusion that plaintiffs engaged in a smear campaign, a quote, smear campaign, against Blake Lively, docket 106, page 19, emphasis added. The amended complaint thoroughly alleges why the article is not a substantially accurate summary of the administrative complaint. Docket 50 is the second paragraph, 261 to 299. See Carides v. Ackerley Group, Inc. There's the case, 2005. Vacating order granting motion to dismiss where reasonable jury could find that news articles suggested more serious conduct than actually suggested in official proceedings, and that article was not substantially accurate. They lied and said that it was based on a complaint that hadn't even happened yet, and they had been planning the article possibly for months, long before, and they published it before she actually ever made a complaint, or they held on to it until right after she made the complaint, and then they dropped it. Either way, they're fucking shady as fuck. They are the smear campaign. For good measure, the Wayfarer parties intend to seek leave to amend their pleadings to remedy any defects therein that might otherwise support the Times' motion to dismiss, such as impermissible group pleading, which weighs against a stay of discovery. See Moran v. Flattery, 1992. In reference, Chase Manhattan Corp. Sick litigant, and there's a case number from May 7th, 1991. Scrolling up. We respectfully request that the court deny the Times' motion for a stay of discovery. At a minimum, document discovery with the Times should proceed, and the court should stay that party's deposition only pending its motion to dismiss. See in and there's another case from 1996. Respectfully, Mitchell Schuster from Meister, Selig, and Feen, and Linner, Freedman, Tolman and Cooley LLP, Brian Freedman, Miles Cooley, Teresa Troopson, Summer Benson, Jason Sunshine. What? Oh yeah, we already talked about that. If they get married, she could be Summer Sunshine. Okay, so that's that document. So let me see. So no new documents dropped. All right. So, well, my last thoughts about it. yeah, I mean, the Times has to hand over. So they basically want to be able to prove that the Times was working in cahoots, in conjunction, in, you know, uh, in defamation of Justin Baltoni. And they never came to ask him his side. They never really investigated, similarly to Sony. And, um,
Allegedly.
and, they really are trying to smear him and destroy him and to have double standards in every single issue. And hopefully the judge will not allow that, and that the judge will hold the law. And oh, so before I forget, I guess I'm coming to the end of the video. The reason I stopped following Daily Dose of Donna is because I was on her stream one day, and oh, that reminds me of a couple of pictures I wanted to show. So she started to talk about Liz Plank, who I also can't stand because Liz Plank is a fake skank. She's a backstabbing, two-timing sellout. And Daily Dose of Donna was saying, well, I have a friend who was friends with Liz Plank, and Liz Plank had said, "Free Palestine." And then Donna said, "You just can't be friends with people like that," which I personally find reprehensible. Now, I think that Liz Plank is reprehensible, but not for that. Then a lot of people started to write "Free Palestine, Free Palestine, Free Palestine" in the comments. And Daily Dose of Donna, bitch, said, "Mods, I want you to delete those comments and block every single person who's saying that." Then after a few minutes of that, she was like, "Yay, I'm so glad to see you guys being blocked." Then after they were blocked, and I was just sitting there, like I was literally about to type "Free Palestine," and I was just frozen, like, I cannot believe this is happening. Then after she was like, "Okay, great, you're all blocked," she said, "It's not like I'm not willing to have a conversation. I mean, I'm willing to have a conversation. It's not like I don't care about Palestinian people, but oh no, you are not going to get on my channel and say, free Palestine. Absolutely not." And I just was like, I'm not writing my comment. I'm immediately unfollowing. I'm not even going to bother wasting my breath saying I unfollow, because like they always say, you don't need to announce your departure. If you want to unfollow somebody, you can unfollow. So that's why I don't follow her. Then Dave Neal, I followed him for about a week or two. And anyway, she had been so problematic. Like I followed her for like 3 weeks, and every video I was like, what is she talking about? Why is she saying this? So it tracked. Then Dave Neal, he's a comedian. I was following him. I unfollowed him because I felt like, well, there was too many times where he was like talking about how pretty Blake Lively is, and I'm like, this bitch has falsely accused a man of some horrific shit. She's literally trying to destroy this man's life. And you want to talk about how pretty she is? This fucking 3-time nose job, eye plastic surgery, like she's got a fucking spray tan or whatever the hell it is. She wears wigs and extensions all the time. She's had lip filler. God knows what else. She probably had like nips and tucks and shit. And why does that matter? Why does it matter? Because she is an evil person who bought a fake look, and you want to fawn over how pretty she is when she is trying to destroy someone? No. Then the last straw for me was he did a whole video about basically talking about giving Blake Lively grace, bitch. And I commented, it's one thing to give somebody grace. You say you're neutral, Dave, but you have been bending over backwards every single day, video after video, bending over backwards to find any way you possibly can to excuse this behavior. Then he blamed it on postpartum depression. Like, oh, now you're weaponizing motherhood to say that a woman who just gave birth could be a despicable, vile person. Like, I was like, fuck this bitch. Unfollow hard as fuck. Unfollow on him. Okay. Next up, who I might unfollow will be Zach Peters, because he's friends with them. And I'm like, no, fuck that bitch. Okay. But so far, I'm following him to see what he's saying. And then, so basically, who am I actually going to follow when it comes to this case? As always, Alita, Legal Bites. She's a lawyer, so her perspective is an actual neutral legal perspective, not some biased bullshit. Oh, she's so uniquely beautiful. What? She's as plain Jane as they come, and her fake wigs look stupid. Okay. And her mole disgusts me. I know that's rude and mean. Some people like moles or whatever. I personally, I get grossed out by moles. So her mole is extra gross because it's filled with vile evilness. Candace Owens. Ah, look right here. Do I need to say more? No. She's a fucking whack. She's a Kanye, female Kanye. Something fucking weird. She's very fucking bizarre. I'm not about it. No. So I don't care if she's latched on to this story. That's what I'm saying. Like, just because the story is interesting and intriguing to me doesn't mean that I want to hear everybody's opinion on it. I listened to Donna for a little while, when she was like, Taylor Swift was a real friend and she's going to stick by her. Like, what? No, you don't. No, you do not stick by. It's not a real friend when somebody betrays you and uses you and fucking says you're their dragon, and then you're not okay with that, and then you're supposed to stick by them. Like, ugh, toxic. And then you don't believe Palestinians are people. I guess that's very toxic to me. I don't fuck with Zionists. No. So if you're a Zionist and you're I don't know, you can fuck off too. MAGA can fuck off. Zionists, you can fuck off. And people who think that men can't be victims, you can fuck off. People who think that blonde, fucking fake blonde, white woman tears matter more than an actual man of integrity. Again, I believe he's a man of integrity. He may have poor judgment. He may have poor taste. I mean, I don't think he has poor taste. Most of what he's done is great. Again, I'm not into the sappy, like, make you cry, break your heart kind of shit. I have enough of that in my own real life. I have enough trauma. I have enough, unhealed wounds. I have enough freaking SA and DV and abandonment and all kinds of stuff that I'm dealing with that, you know, I don't particularly care for sad things, sad songs, sad movies, and really like stuff. It doesn't mean I never watch it. I do, but I cry very easily, and I'm an HSP. I'm a highly sensitive person, so it's it's hard to watch that stuff. So I have to really be in the mood. I did start to watch 5 Feet Under, or 5 Feet Apart, the movie he did about the cystic fibrosis that was dedicated to Claire Wineland, who passed away. But I didn't finish it. Like, I'm like, I just don't want to watch a movie about two young, really, amazing people passing away. It's just like really hard. So, but again, he's willing to do the work. He's willing to tackle the hard topics and to try to make something positive, some positive change in the world. And he's consistent. And I think that all those people who could not stand him, like I saw some comments say, people who lack integrity cannot, and I'm paraphrasing, they despise people with integrity. They despise people who do the right thing. They despise, they cringe at this pompous guy who, like, actually has fucking morals. Again, paraphrasing. Why is he pompous? He's pompous because he cares about minorities. He's pompous because he cares about women. He actually cares about women, unlike Blake Lively and Colleen Hoover and Liz Plank, who weaponize and profit off of other people's suffering. All right, so I'm pull these last few pictures up that I wanted to show. So there you've got Liz Plank's page, Instagram. When was this from? This was from March 1st of 2022. There's Liz. There's Liz. There's Blatant Lie. Other marginalized communities at any stage in their career with a special focus on those who are trying to get their foot in the door in the entertainment industry at Van City Reynolds, that's Ryan Reynolds, offered to pay for the trainees out of his own salary and their housing during the hashtag Adam Project. So the magic of this movie is not just the dazzling performances you see on screen. Trust me, wear more waterproof mascara. But the radical diversity happening behind it too. Oh, really? Look at that radically diverse group right there. I don't know, maybe in the other rest of the carousel. I also got to see at Kate EV work her precious butt off on this initiative that she cared so deeply about, and seeing it expand its reach to help more marginalized folks give me so much hope about our industry. And don't get me, maybe somewhere in there she had tagged Blake, I don't know, but there they are. And also apparently she did an episode on something of Ryan's. So I guess that was enough to sell out her so-called friend. She was obviously a fake-ass, not real friend. Here's Kujarskefla, Sashtifla, and her lovely boyfriend Magnus Sundholm. Somebody hacked into her Wikipedia page. Somebody made a very nice Wikipedia page about her, and then somebody hacked into it to smear her. What assholes. Go follow her. She's great. They're great. And Blake literally trying to, here's Michelle. Okay, I'm not sure how you say her name. Michelle Trachtenberg. She was only 39 years old. Very tragic. She passed away. She had been on Gossip Girl. And so Blake shares a picture from Gossip Girl and saying this is the first day she met Michelle. And then she, to me, this is just proof of how disgusting she is. She talked about her yummy caramel smelling lip gloss. So are you sexually harassing this lady smelling her lips, you fucking creep, Blake? Like she wanted a nice experience for anybody who was in her orbit. Bitch, you sick bitch. This young, beautiful girl died. You haven't had anything to do with her probably since then. Apparently, Michelle had said on some post, somebody asked her about the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni lawsuits, and she said, I'm dealing with real world issues. I'm not thinking about that. Shortly before she passed away. And Blake, so I've seen some people saying like, oh, Blake is using the word yummy, because she's trying to prove that that's part of her regular, her daily vernacular. And I'm like, you can't after the fact. You know how evidence works? You can't say something after the fact of something like that yummy, spicy, never with teeth, trying to do a BJ on Justin Baldoni text. You can't after the fact start saying something and then say, oh, see, this is how I speak. Like that's just, nobody's that dumb except apparently some YouTubers. So anyway, I think she's a creep in every single way possible. You were smelling Michelle's lips. That's what you want to talk about? Like somehow you just want to make it about you and make it creepy. Like I feel like there's absolutely nothing that either Blake nor Ryan can ever do without it being creepy, because they are creepy to the core. You know how there's cottage core? They are creepy core. And that's my opinion. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye. Thanks for subscribing. Don't forget to hit like, hit share, hit the bell notification so you never miss a new video. I'm probably putting out videos 2 to 3 times a week, depending on how busy I am with my clients and other stuff. And I'm allowing myself to take longer breaks and to allow the videos that I do share to actually gain some traction and some views, because like I said, as of now, I cannot post a new video without it killing another video, so I might as well let the other video die before I post a new one. Anyway, if you like what I do and you'd like me to do more of it, then please subscribe. 88% of the people watching my videos are unsubscribed, but you're here all the time, so please subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao, my lovely peaches. Bye.
United States District Court Southern District of New York. Blake Lively, plaintiff. Wayfair Studios AV. Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Steve Sarowitz. IT ends with U.S. Movie AV. Melissa Nathan, The Agency Group PRLC. Jennifer Abel, Jed Wallace, Street Relations Inc. Defendants. Wayfair Studios AV. Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath. IT ends with U.S. Movie AV. Melissa Nathan, Jennifer Abel, plaintiffs. V. Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds. Leslie Sloan, Vision PR, Inc., The New York Times Company. Defendants. 24 CV10049, lead case. 25 CV449, member case. Memorandum and Order Louis J. Liman, United States District Judge. Consolidated defendant The New York Times Company, New York Times, moves, pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 26C. For a stay of discovery as it relates to the New York Times pending a decision on its motion to dismiss. DKT nomor 109. The motion is granted. A motion to dismiss does not automatically stay discovery, except in cases covered by the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act. Hong Leong Finance Limited, Singapore, v. 3/4/2025 Case 1. 24 CV10049 Aljol Document 118 Filed 030425 Page 1 of 5 Case 1. 24 CV10049 Aljol Document 118 Filed 030425 Page 2 of 5 Pinnacle Performance Ltd. 297 FRD 69, 72, Eston Y 2013. Quoting Moran v. Flaherty, 1992 WL 276913, at 1, Eston Y September 25, 1992. Upon a showing of good cause, however, the court may grant a motion to stay discovery pending decision on a motion to dismiss. See Federal R. Civ 16b, 4. Discovery schedule may be modified only for good cause and with the judge's consent. Fed. R. Civ 26c, d. See also Association Fe y Alegria v. Republic of Ecuador, 1999 WL 147716, at 1, Estoi March 16, 1999. Together. These provisions enable the district court to stay discovery where resolution of a preliminary motion may dispose of the entire action. A stay must be justified based on 1. The breadth of discovery sought and the burden of responding to it. 2. The prejudice, if any, to the opposing party of an order granting a stay. And 3. The strength of the motion. McSweeney v. Cohen, 2024 WL 4108539, at 1, Eston Y September 5, 2024. C. Brooks v. Macy's Inc. 2010 WL 5297756, at 2, Eston Y December 21, 2010. Bennett v. Cuomo, 2023 WL 2021560, at 2, Eston Y February 15, 2023. On January 31, 2025, Consolidated Plaintiffs Wayfair Studios, LLC Justin Baldoni, Jamie Health, It Ends With Us Movie LLC Melissa Nathan, Jennifer Abel, and Steve Sarowitz, the Wayfair parties, named the New York Times as a defendant in their first amended complaint. DKT nomor 50. The first amended complaint was served on the New York Times on February 7, 2025. DKT nomor 73. On February 28, 2025, the New York Times filed a motion to dismiss the first amended complaint against it under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12b. 6. For failure to state a claim for relief. DKT nomor 105. The New York Times' motion presents substantial grounds for dismissal, and the New York Times has made a strong showing that its motion to dismiss is likely to succeed on the merits. Cambridge Cap LC v. Ruby has LLC, 2021 WL 2413320, at 1, Est NY June 10, 2021. Indeed, the Wayfarer parties note that their complaint may need to be amended to address the issues raised by the motion to dismiss. CDG. Number 117 at 3. 2 Case 1. 24 CV10049 Oval Document 118 Filed 030425 Page 3 of 5. The Wayfarer parties argue that discovery against the New York Times will not be voluminous and burdensome because it will cover a relatively narrow time frame. But the burden of discovery is not measured only by the number of pages the movement will be required to produce but also by the complexity of the issues that discovery will present and the sensitivity of the documents that will be requested. CEG Spinelli v. National Football League 2015 WL7302266, at 2, Est NY November 17, 2015. Intricacy of contractual provisions and complex claims increases burden of discovery. B. Cis. And LX, Cis. Integration Inc. v. L3 Harris Cincinnati LX. Corp. 2023 WL4187489, at 1, Est NY June 26, 2023. Fact that a significant portion of discovery will include sensitive information increases burden of discovery. Spencer Trask Software and Info. Serves. LCV. R Post International Ltd. 206 FRD 367, 368, Est NY 2002. Risk of jeopardizing delicate negotiations increases burden of discovery. See also ECF No. 51 Flynn vs. Weissman. Number 24 CV02409 VSB. Est NY June 6, 2024. Staying discovery in defamation action based in part on the chilling effect costly discovery and litigation have on a publisher's First Amendment right to report newsworthy topics. The New York Times has indicated that to the extent discovery is sought against it, the New York Times intends to invoke its rights under New York's Shield Law. D. Number 109 at 2, see New York Civ. 79H. The reporter's privilege is intended to protect the public's interest in being informed by a vigorous, aggressive, and independent press. By limiting the circumstances in which litigants may obtain access to press files through court-ordered discovery. Chevron Corp. vs. Berlinger, 629 F.3d 297, 306, 07, 2 DCIR. 2011. Quoting Von Bulow v. Von Bulow, 811 F.2d 136, 144, 2 DCIR. 1987. The application of that law raises delicate and complicated issues which would increase the burden of responding to discovery. Moreover, the dimensions of the discovery that is permitted may vary depending on whether the New York Times is a defendant or a third party. And 3 Case 1. 24 CV10049 Oval Document 118 Filed 030425 Page 4 of 5 whether it was acting in a journalistic capacity or, as the Wayfarer parties allege, as a co-conspirator with the Lively parties. CDKD. Number 54. Baker vs. Goldman Sachs & Co., 669 F.3d 105, 108, 2 DCIR. 2012. Qualified privilege may be overcome by a showing, among other things, that the information is critical or necessary to the maintenance of a party's claim. Defense or proof of an issue material thereto. Internal citations omitted. Berlinger 629 F.3d at 307. Those who do not retain independence as to what they will publish but are subservient to the objectives of others who have a stake in what will be published have either a weaker privilege or none at all. Fowler vs. Ferry 2022 WL 3211638 at 7-8, Est Y August 9, 2022. Those issues will invariably be affected by the court's decision on the motion to dismiss. Finally, the Wayfarer parties are unlikely to be unfairly prejudiced by a stay while the court decides the pending motion. The New York Times did not delay filing its motion. It filed the motion within 21 days of being served. The court intends to address the motion to dismiss promptly after it is fully submitted. To the extent that the Wayfarer parties are concerned about delay, they have it within their power to accelerate their contemplated further amended complaint or their opposition to the motion to dismiss. The Wayfarer parties themselves suggest that discovery from the New York Times is unlikely to be voluminous. D. Number 117 at 2. To the extent discovery is sought from the New York Times as a defendant, it can be requested if and when the court denies the pending motion to dismiss. In the meantime, it is evident that the parties will be busy with document discovery from the other parties and with third-party discovery. Depositions are not anticipated to begin soon. The court hopes to decide the motion well before they do begin. For Case 1:24 CV10049 Oval Document 118 Filed 030425 Page 5 of 5 The motion to stay discovery as it relates to the New York Times is granted. The clerk of court is respectfully directed to close DKT. Number 109. So ordered. Dated March 4, 2025 New York, New York. Louis J. Liman, United States District Judge.
Peach.com.
Fucking crook. I don't know.
CatLoveDreamingPeach.com.
CatLoveDreamingPeach.com.